Hello everyone and welcome back to Warwick Road. Thank you for everyone who took the time to watch the previous video, and I really appreciated all the feedback and comments I received. For today's video it's just going to be a scenery update, as due to the extreme heat we've had over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've not had any time to get up here and go across the whole layout and clean the track to run trains. So now that the weather's starting to cool down a bit, I hope to get up here soon, get all the track clean and start running some trains. So this will just be a scenery stroke layout update, and also I'll be asking for some advice from anybody that knows how to fix the issue I have with 8 wagons I've purchased after a long wait, and I'll cover that later in the video. So the first update is this little garage here, which I wanted to represent a paint booth. So what I've done is made some changes. So I've made the forecourt of the garage bigger because it was far too small for what I wanted. I've added a few more of the Oxford die-cast classic cars. So this is going to be like a classic car garage for servicing, sales and restoration. So I want to put a couple of cars, while these are all mint out here, I'm going to put a couple at the back here that are in need of restoration. So I bought this little MDF kit off of eBay, and I've used, I think it's Will's corrugated sheet for the roof, but as you can see the doors, they're almost like blast doors or something from a sci-fi movie. They're that thick, so they're going to be gone, and I just used some plastic card to have some smaller doors. Down there, a project that's been either forgotten about or the owner of the vehicle didn't have enough money to have it completed. But this is a Maestro that is going to get a distressed look on it, so that it's just going to go into the paint shop to be redone. So I've done the forecourt, a bit rough there as well, and I will have some shrubs and grass and everything growing in between there, that whilst it's a classic garage nobody spends any time worrying about what the forecourt looks like. So to make the forecourt bigger, I moved the TMD building, so it was originally where these cars are, so I've moved it further up, and I've, again off of eBay, I found this chain, I don't know, we call it chain link fencing. So obviously I've just got to repair where the old fence posts were. So this was the kit I had before, which I've redone the roof because it had got water on. The only thing I haven't done with this is sprayed some matte varnish on there just to protect it. If any moisture gets on it, it discolours. So why I did the change is I wanted these gates here for the back of the TMD, so that if anything was delivered by truck, there was a route in for the lorry. This was all grass, but I've now ballasted it. This colour obviously is very different from the rest of the layout because this is all I had. So what it's going to do is it's going to need some extreme weathering, and I've moved the buffers forward so you could get a heavy load, an engine or something from a loco into there. One of the other changes I've made is to these bridge girders. I'd added another girder underneath because it just didn't look right sitting as it was, just perched on top of the brickwork. So I've added these girders here. I've just got to finish off the weathering, but I'm happy with those now sitting there like that. Just shows some extra reinforcement for the bridge. That's also the same for this main section that didn't look great. So I've just added all of this. So it looks like there's one massive metal, or iron I guess it would be, steel beam going across there, and the bridge girders going on top. So one of the things that popped up on eBay was this. So this is a part of the Stobart Airport range, like a cherry picker, but it was really cheap, so I got it, taken all the Stobart decals off of it, and it will be a scene where a guy's just going to repair a broken street light. So I'm going to put a van in here, a couple of guys working, one down watching his mate work up above, and this guy watching them both. So for this scene I added a bit more detail. So I've just got the start of some more houses being built. So I've got the breeze blocks and the bricks. So gradually, as I find more items that are suitable, I will add some more detail there. I don't know if I can find any bricklayers and stuff like that, because they might be only HO scale. But yeah, this is just work in progress. So to complement the house scene, I had this truck, I've had this for years, but what I've done is got some scale model scenery, brick loads, shed ring model railways, the straps, and then I can't remember who produced this, but this is one of these cranes that would obviously get this load off, and obviously this would use this road that would go along. One of the other things I bought off the internet was 3 of these billboard signs from a company called Fair Price Models, 3mm MDF. They're really nice, perfect for what I needed. So I've got 2 in place, third one to add. I'm not sure I'll get any more because they're pretty, the size of them. But yeah, really like them, and I think they're about $2.99 for a pack plus postage, so not too bad. I've also added a load of these signs. I think it's see it, say it, report it. So literally, I was at a railway station the other day and they're all over the place, so I decided that I would do the same sort of thing. Just sort of brings you up into the modern age a bit more. I don't know how well this comes out in camera, but I've actually put some lights underneath the bridge because I want to extend, or there is platform under there, but actually it was just in darkness. So as the trains came out here, it was just darkness and all you saw was the lights of the locos. So I want to put some more detail down here, people, signs. So what I've done is I've put some lights in there, but when I put them in originally it was too bright, so I put a bit of that Tamiya orange paint, that acrylic paint, is it orange clear, but I'm not sure if that's a bit too orange, so I may do that again and put some white lights in there. Not sure on that yet because I've only just done it. I've also done some work on the retail park. As you can see, spent an evening with paint pens and stuff, marking out the car park, walkways, disabled bays, everything you would find. But as it's a retail park, I wanted somewhere like a fast food outlet, and I bought the Gauge Master Seafront Cafe. I thought I could turn that into something like an American diner. Well, what I didn't realise with those Gauge Master kits is they're almost HO scale. It was tiny, and when I put it up here it looked totally out of place. It looked ridiculous actually. So what I did was I bought a Kingsway model, and these are card. Not bad actually. But what I've done is turn it from a little chef into an American diner. So I found some American diner logos online. I've got this little American car here that the boss drives in every day and parks outside. So I just thought, yep, I'll have some of that. So it's built, just needs to be weathered. Obviously a chimney for the kitchen. But yeah, I'm pleased with that because the other kit, it absolutely looked ridiculous. It wasn't much taller than the car. When you put figures up against it, it truly showed it was HO scale. but I'm happy with that. And that leads, so this isn't fixed down yet, because obviously you can see a gap there. This leads very nicely into the station section, which has had more people, signage, some cars, but still a bit to go on this yet. So I've got the Belisha beacons at the back there for the crossing, but it's the main station, so I'll just need a few more people in there. This will need something here, and some weathering of the road and everything. So I also decided to add one more board for the town Scenic. So this isn't set in stone yet, this is just these 4 items are items that had been put away, and especially this post office or Royal Mail depot had started to show signs of where I stored it and left it. So this is obviously going to come out a bit further and be a bit wider, and I'll probably add another building on the left hand side here and a couple more vehicles. And I've always liked this scene, but it's always been a bit too small and almost forced into the other side of the layout, so here I've got a bit more space to fit it in. This is a scale scenes bus garage, which I like, it's really nice. So this will be the front of a large bus depot, which will go obviously behind. This kit here I'm not sure what to do with. I think it's called Mod Lugs. It's really nice, but I'm not sure it has a place on the layout, so I might just sell that as is. And also with this kit, a Metcalf kit, again I'm not totally sure that it fits in this area and this scene, so I'll probably ditch those two, box them up and flog them as part built and built. So you can see that it just flows across there, so that there will be a road where obviously the lorries deliver to the retail park, and I've just got to work out the layout here. Not sure yet, that'll be work in progress, and this will be something I'll do in stages. When it cools down up here and I can't get up here, I'll do this scenic work. So last month I managed to pick myself up long awaited Hornby Drax wagons. So I managed to get 8, and they were a really fantastic price. So I bought these 2 sets of 4. One was £145, one was £155. So just on £37 a wagon, which, considering some people are selling them, splitting them from the set of 2 and selling them for nearly £60, it was a bargain. They're up against here, for comparison, the Acura scale biomass wagons, which are really, really nice. And these biomass are really, really nice, and they're not doing a review or anything. There's loads of reviews out there on these. I mean, the livery is absolutely superb. However, I have a problem with these that I'm asking for your help on. This shows you the problem I have, is that this shows the maximum turn on the bogies, which is very little. I took the bogies off to investigate, and there's 2 lugs on there which are stopping the wagon turning. So these are only good for 3rd or 4th radius curves. I haven't read up on the bio on these whether that is their limit. I'd be surprised for Hornby if it was, but for these it is at the moment. So I'm going to cut the lugs off, which should give me the ability to use them on some 2nd radius curves, which the Acura scale ones go around perfectly. But the biggest issue is the fact that there is no play in the bogies at all. So if I move that, there is absolutely no play in there. Now this is a loft layout with track that I've tried to lay as flat as I possibly can, but it has evolved over 20 years, so I think it's 5 sections from the original and updates. I'm not a master carpenter, so I've tried to lay everything as flat as possible, but with the extreme heat that I've had in the loft for the last 3 weeks, there are parts of the layout that have bent, and each time I come up here I have to take the track up and relay it with a bigger gap to allow the track to expand. I've done that over the last sort of 3 or 4 years. So everything, including the Acura scale wagons, the Dapo spine wagons that have got tiny bogies on them, the Dapo little mini flat container wagon, or the intermodal wagons, they all go around the corners. These are causing a problem because any time there's a slight rise in the track, you'll see one wheel of the bogie set literally will just lift up, and if that then turns onto a corner, it derails straight away. Or if you go to a second radius curb, until I've taken the lugs off, they just derail. So it's hugely frustrating, considering I've been wanting these wagons since this swoosh livery came out, the exclusive one for Hattons, I don't know, what was that, 15 years ago. Because whilst they are available to buy, you know, I'm not paying £120, £130 for 2. I only got these because they were such a good price and they look fantastic. So if anybody knows a way that I can put some flexibility into these bogies, please let me know, because they are too nice to just leave as a static item, and really too expensive to leave as a static item. So any thoughts, please let me know in the comments. So I'd like to say thank you to you all for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you enjoyed what you'd seen. As I said earlier, unfortunately, because of the weather, it is only a scenery update. But now it's cooling down, I hope to get up here, get some track clean, and really a lot of my locos haven't run since probably April. So whilst they've been on the rolling road downstairs, I really need to get them out running. Have a nice running session up here. So sort of a short video today because it's only scenery and there's only so much you can talk about scenery. So again, thank you. Hope everyone's well, and I will be back as soon as I've got something to add, or I can get up here and have a running shot. So take care everyone, and thank you for your subscriptions, continue support, comments. I do reply to everybody. Happy modelling, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.